Welcome back to It's Not Junk TV. My name is Jarvis, and today we're going to do a little bit of scrapping. I was out driving around the neighborhood and found this little generator sitting on the curb. I say little, but pretty much ripped my spleen when I went to grab it because it's a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. Um, Looks like some stuff is missing, like it's had some issues. Somebody was in it. The breaker system's kind of been ripped out of it. I've got a use for the little 5 horsepower brakes motor that's on it. So I think what we're going to do is break this dude apart, start from the generator side, and see if we can't get it tore apart, save the motor, and scrap out the copper. And then we'll see how many pounds we get. Because I bet this little thing probably weighs 50, 60 pounds to be so little. But here, let's take a look at it. The generator on it's a Winco 2500 watt 3600 rpm, which means the motor's turning at 3600 rpm, which is about perfect. I gave a couple tugs on it and it seems like it's got good compression. I'm pretty sure that's a ground that needs to be grounded, but it's kind of hanging there, so that's probably one of the reasons it wouldn't start, because I think it's got something to do. Well, that's a ground for when you're running it as a generator. I don't know. Let me come over here and show you what I was talking about, where the plug is. There's the plug right there. It's supposedly breakers or fuses that was in there, and they're now gone. So that tells me something's been ripped out of the inside. So I say we tear this dude apart to give you an idea of. I don't have a tiny hand, so that gives you probably 8-inch diameter there on that coil. So I think we'll tear it apart and see how much copper's in it. All right, well, in typical fashion, as soon as you get a camera out to do something, everybody starts mowing, and the dogs and everything. So the dogs finally quit, but the mowers haven't. So I guess we'll go ahead and pop this off. Now, this isn't a how to disassemble a motor or a generator video. This is kind of show you the intro here. See if we can't get in this dude. If we can get in him. Yeah. Just a little tap here and there. Usually a popper right up. And there's gonna be a couple wires because of that. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of stuff. Looks like it's been cut out. There's wire nuts, which if anybody knows anything, you don't put a wire nut inside of there. That's a pretty massive coil. There's not as much there as I thought there would be, really. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I really expected there to be more. More copper. I mean, there's a bunch, but not as much as I thought there would be. What's the chances of that? Coming out there. Not with that screwdriver, it won't. I'm at this point where you're like, do I really want to take this? Can I fix it? Nah. Let's take it apart. Let's take it apart. Like I say, I got used for the motor, and then that's something else I want to show you guys at a later date that I think everybody will get a kick out of. There's a cover. Wire on to there. There's the sputter. There's the brushes. Now, it's still got decent brushes on it, so it ain't been used to death. That's normally how you can tell. Just look at the state of the brushes and the little stacker wheels. It's not too bad a shape. Yeah. Alright, let's do some time lapse on this. You don't want to watch me do all this. Alright, I think I got everything disconnected. It's just about time to start sliding this copper out of here. Copper and balance out. No snap ring or nothing. Kind of punch. Alright, after all that, we can finally get down. Trying to get some of this copper out of here. And I don't suspect it's going to be easy, because it never is. Because of these paper and all the other stuff they put in here. I don't have a big fancy saw, and I'm not getting out a grinder, so I guess we're just going to do this with a hand. So everybody else out there that don't have a big saw or grinder, just take little bites. Start on the edge. There you go. And you get all the way through. Bend those back out of your way. Bend them straight. Let me start find something here and start putting your copper in. Well, maybe not. You can never find anything when you're looking for it. So, like I say, lay the copper try to keep it on here. These strands are pretty big, so just gotta snap them one at a time. Alright, let me get the rest of these snapped. Alright. It seems like 12 hours later. There is the last of that. Put in a little bitty piece that comes up to there. The rest of that is steel, so that'll just go in the steel scrap. Now to cut into those stupid coils. Alright, this right here is why I wanted to make this video. Everybody always makes the assumption that things made back in the day were made better. And here's a fine example of something made probably in the late 70s, early 80s that is not made better. So we were stripping copper. My big plan was to show you how much copper you can get out of one. I was able to get the copper out of the inner windings. But then you go and pull these field coils and you start looking. That is just copper plated aluminum wire on them field coils. That's worth nothing. There's no need in even stripping it the rest of the way. I can just throw it in my scrap pile. So there's the go to show you. Now, if I didn't need this little motor, I'd have picked up just a little bit of copper and a whole lot of just shred steel. So nothing that's even been really worth a whole lot, not without mass quantities. But because I said I would do it, let's see exactly how much was in that. Get this to pile up on itself here. Everything from not touching. All these little pieces, I didn't have a tray, I couldn't find nothing, so here we are. Alright. A little over 1.5 pounds for number one Bare Bright copper. It's better than nothing. Like I say, I need the motor. But just something for you guys to be aware of if you're out there pulling these things and jerking your back out trying to grab these welders. They got a little bit more wire in them. You might have better luck with them. But these old generators, these motors and just a generator, no housing around them old things, you can find them. You get them for free, okay. But don't go out and buy them. You can see 1.62 pounds. So that's about $5 maybe in number two. But that's what we were doing this for, was a learning experience, and so you guys can see what scrapping's really like. So my name's Jarvis. This is It's Not Junk TV. Until the next one, guys, stay out there scrapping.